Hi, I'm Evan Pantazi. I just wanted to answer Sean Simon's question today here on YouTube. Now, I've posed the prospect for all people to write your comments and questions in these videos, and I will get notification of them and I will answer them. Now, I'm not always prompt because I travel overseas quite a bit and I can't always get to them. And let's face it, if there's an overabundance of questions that start coming in, then it's going to be a little bit of a time delay before I can answer them for you. But for Sean, he asked a couple questions within a question. He asked which one I thought came first, the Dim Mak or the Kyusho, and what the main difference is between them. So let's go back first to the main differences I see it. Now, the Kyusho is more of Japanese pronunciation. It's a Japanese word, Japanese term. And yes, it did include the blood and the organs, as does Dim Mak. And Dim Mak had a couple of the nerve attacks as well. However, the Japanese used it more of it as an atemi system. Now, if you look at the bubishi, that came out of China, so that's Chinese art, and it talks about the killing techniques. Now, the killing techniques would probably be more against the organ and blood. And yes, you can kill a person if you stop their neurological systems, like killing the brain or attacking their brain or brain stem. And we see that target in many of the depictions in the bubishis, the Fujita notes, and all the other transcripts like the cutting veins. Now, there is a transcript out there called Cutting Veins, and as we can imagine, that would be more the Dim Mak, and it came out of China. Now, Dim Mak is more blood related and organ related, so it would spill the blood and either poison the system through the toxins that were in the organs, say the kidneys or the liver or some other place in the body, or open up the body and the blood vessels and the blood systems to toxins getting in from other regions of the body, like the bowels. So that would be more of a Dim Mak type of an approach, because when they went back in history, they were more interested in, you go back to the bubishi, they were more interested in killing people with swords and spears and daggers and things of this nature. So we can only imagine, they're not trying to target a nerve, they're trying to target a major blood vessel, so the person would bleed out quickly, and either that or die on the battlefield once incapacitated over time, or drop them so their blood pressure dropped so fast that they could then go back and kill them on the field as the battle was won, and just go back and kill all the remaining survivors, because they didn't take prisoners back then. Now, the nerves are more, I think, related to the Kyusho, and it's not just because they work more efficiently or effectively, but what I think it is when you go back into the Japanese systems and you go back to, say, Fujita's notes, for example, is a lot of call-outs to atemi. Now, atemis are short, sharp shocks to the body, and that would be more neurological in intent. You look at, you read the transcripts of Ueshiba of Aikido, and he said 80% of Aikido is atemi. And that was not, obviously, to kill the human. It was to shock them so they could go into a lock, a throw, a repositioning, whatever the case may be. So to answer your question, Sean, I believe Kyusho is more atemi or more nerve-related from the Japanese side, hence the Japanese word. And the Dim Mak goes further back into the blood systems and China. And even before that, you go way back past Chinese history, and you go back into ancient India, and you're talking about an art called marma. Okay, and marma was also a killing type of an art, and it would relate more toward the blood systems. And so, you know, there's many different ways, and we're never going to be certain, because, of course, history is past. But those are my reflections on it. So the differences between Kyusho and Dim Mak, to make this a shorter answer for you, is Kyusho to me is more neurological, and the Dim Mak is more blood. And which came first, they can only ascertain that it was the Dim Mak when people were out on the battlefield trying to kill their opponents with the blood targets, because they could see the effects. They could see the blood pour out and knew they got their targets. So that's what they basically went after. They didn't really do the anatomical studies as well back then, but they did know what to attack. So there's your answer, Shawn. Anybody else that has questions on these videos especially, I would like to answer questions on the videos in particular, but I'll answer any question. But again, it might take some time and some patience before I could get back to you. Thanks a lot.